What is going on, guys? What's cracking? So I'm working on the wife's car here, just doing like little odds and end things, and something I really didn't need to do, but I'm doing anyways. Let me explain. So I've got our valve covers off, coil packs all out, and if you see here, it's all taken apart, all nice and clean except for the dirty cams because the engine wasn't the cleanest. So I had it all cleaned out and the head cleaned, and had to check all the clearances on everything because I was like, yeah. Let's forget about that. But the reason I took it apart was I had these crossover tubes for the PCV system in between. Not a big deal, other than the factory tubes I had on there, but I decided to pull out the little bungs that they go onto to make it easier for the wiring to go in there and for the coil packs. Now these coil packs are designed to work with these, and they were fine, no problem. But I'm always about simplicity and making life easier. One less thing to fail, one less thing to mess with, especially with the wiring there. If I had to pull these out real quick without trying to unclip them, you know, clips go bad over time, hot, cold, you know, plastic gets hard and it cracks and breaks. So to try and avoid that issue, I decided to remove those tubes. You can see here, I removed one and I've already put one plug in. Same thing back here, I put a little too much PTFE paste on that one, but you can get the idea. So this is an 1/8 inch NPT plug, and this one here takes a 3/8 inch NPT plug. I did not have a tap for that, so I just ordered one. Should be here relatively soon, so once I have that, I'll be able to put the plug in for it. It won't be black, unfortunately. Now, does it really matter? Not really, because it's under the cover anyways, and you can't see it, but you know, I just want it to look black across the board. I just like it looks nice. But I'm gonna go ahead and plug that just to make it easier. So again, the wiring gets in there, don't have to worry about tubes. Just one less thing to mess with. Now the point of it is, with the factory system is, the way the covers were set up was, one had a setup for a tube coming from the intake into the cover. Then there was 2 crossover tubes that went into the intake side of the valve cover. That intake side valve cover then went into the intake manifold. Okay, so it was the equalizer across the board. But having an open catch can now, as you can see here, I've got the fittings here and the fittings here. That goes to an open catch can. That's not necessary anymore. So could you keep them? Absolutely. Do you need to? In my opinion, no. Again, it's one more thing just to fail. They'll worry about leaking, so on and so forth. Now someone could say, well, Ryan, couldn't these, you know, they're NPT plugs. They're supposed to be technically somewhat permanent. Couldn't they technically leak? Sure. Will they? I would like to assume most likely not. That would assume the rubber seal below it would actually blow out before that would, but it could be wrong. Again, that's why I didn't just do the plug. I also did the PTFE sealant on it. Again, where is it at over here? I get this from, here it is. It's Permatex, see if it'll focus. It's thread sealant. It is a liquid thread sealant. The reason I do that is it goes on easier and I can just put a small amount on. You don't need a ton. And it's resistant to E85, alcohol, high temperature, all that good stuff. Very cheap for this bottle. I've had it for years and it really doesn't go bad. So pretty awesome to have. And yeah, now the other thing too, since I already taken this off before, I'm most likely going to go ahead and swap out these bolt heads. So I'd taken off this, drilled and tapped it for these bolts. But I think I'm gonna put screw cap bolts in here just to clear bigger cams if I do that in the future. While it's all clean and easy to do so, I think I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out. Again, just one of those things, might as well go ahead and do it now. You know, why not kind of situation. All right, guys, so I am installing some knock sensors now. So you can see it has a stud here. I've got my knock sensor and I put a titanium nut on it. But just so you guys know, your car will have 2 knock sensors. Here's the part number for the Bosch knock sensor. So you guys can see it, take a screenshot if you need to. And here's the part number for the stud. This is a factory Toyota item. So that's a part number there. This is about $350, I believe, a stud. And these off the company is called FCP Auto. They're about 12 bucks a piece. So the total setup, I think I paid under $30 for everything shipped. Insanely cheap. There's kits out there, but you're going to spend around 180. 30 versus 180, you know what to do. This will save you guys some headache. Again, I did go a little bougie putting the titanium nut on it. This is from Bear Boost Performance. It's one of those things of why not? Titanium the world. So what you need to do is just install these. There's no thread tape, no nothing. It's just, you know, contact. You don't have to worry about paint being behind here either. It's just for noise, right? This will give us a better reading to the ECU. If we have any knock issues or problems, I believe even like Toyota Yaris, the new Tundras, all have these standard Bosch sensors now. And they're a 2-wire setup instead of the old school single wire. So just be understanding of that. You're gonna have to upgrade your wiring if you do this. I do have one of them installed here and I just gotta put the other one on yet. So you can see here, I've got one knock sensor there and then I've got one other spot right above the starter there that needs to be installed there. And we're good to go. So very simple setup, very cool. So let's go ahead and get this one on and yeah. All right, coming back over to here, to the car, guys, here, and you can see there is the one knock sensor on. Again, that's it. And the nice thing with these two, you can place them however you want. So The top of this can be faced any direction. I have it facing up to get the plug on easy. For this one over here, you can see I have it kind of going this way because I want room, so when I put it on here, it's not hitting into this or that. The intake manifold, I wanted some space. This is the factory bar that helps hold on the power steering pump. So I just want to make sure all that was on there. Just very simple, just wanted to make and double check all of it. But yeah, all looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy here, so I just need to button it up and we're done. What's going on, guys? It's a new parts day here. Got another steering wheel from Galaxy Customs. This one is slightly different. It's not as drastic as my wife's. One's a little bit more subtle. So what we're doing is removing the factory one on my car now. Well, technically not factory here in the US. They had a 97, 98, but this doesn't have the cruise control stock. This has cruise control stock, and it's just a little bit nicer. So here is the one that's currently in my car. Pretty nice, nothing crazy, but I really like this setup. I like the way it looks. So my wife's is a little bit different. So that's mine. We'll come over to her car. I'm gonna show you what my forged carbon fiber, it's not as drastic as this one. And I did this on purpose. See how this comes down, has like these bumps here. I didn't want that on this one. This has a little bit more drastic bump out there, a little bit more race car looking. I liked it, but I wanted to try to go a little bit more subtle on mine. So we come over to my car, or come over to the box here, we open it up, we just take a little look-a-roo, and here we go. Again, did forged carbon, still has the little bump outs here. We did flat bottom again, but kept a little bit more subtle here. Doesn't have the crazy bump here. Wanted a little bit more subtle, a little bit more OEM-ish. Yeah, very happy. Did do the silver stripe again. Again, big shout out to Galaxy Customs. Can't thank them enough. This setup is beautiful. So obviously what we got to do next is take the steering wheel out and get this one in. Little side-by-side comparison again. So some people said too, like they wouldn't like perforated with the factory steering or the factory airbag, but factory was that way. So this is a factory super steering wheel and it had perforated from the factory. So that's why I did perforated again. Now you can see the perforated ended here versus they made it a little bit longer, which I like because I usually have my hand here, so it's not like half on, half off, kind of like my wife's is. Again, a little bit more muted here. There's not as much bolster and not a severe one here. I think this actually suits the body style a little bit better. It kind of makes me realize I went a little too much with hers because I wanted this race car look and it went too much. Flat bottom just to make it easy to get in and out. But that's about it. I really just want it refurbished and I like forged carbon fiber and I love the little center ring. So just want to show you guys a little side by side. Not crazy difference, but refurbished. And this was a Toyota RAV4 steering wheel. So if you see here in the gut, see how this has like a center post, this has like multiple posts coming off. It bolts right up. So just so you guys know, RAV4, what is it? Corolla, Camry, and what else? Toyota Matrix, the Lexus IS300, all bolt up into the Super. So you guys can get these things stupid cheap at junkyards. Some places will sell you the airbag, some places won't. That's the really hard part because that's part of the Takata recall. So you gotta be weary of that and understand if they tell you you can't. I've been told that also. So let me know. My boy Colton gets them too for a good deal and then resells them. So, you know, if you need one, hit him up. He gets them pretty darn cheap and sells them for a good price. So hit him up also. Okay guys, so I just want to show you this quick. Steering wheel is in, everything's good. I've got it pinned in the back like I showed in a previous video on my wife's car. 2 pins in the back of there and made a whip and then ran that whip down here. You can see that there's my connector. And then on this connector, this is a Kaizen Motorsports harness. On the connector, there is a rolling anti-lag. Let me turn this light off. I think it's actually making it worse. There we go. There is a rolling anti-lag wire here. And then you have a battery ground. And you can see the orange and green wire is my little whip. You can see it runs the whole way up. It's a little way too long. Probably could knock off a good 2 feet off it, but didn't want to have to make it twice and rather have more than less. And then pinned it in here, one to the rolling anti-lag and one to the battery ground. And now, what I can do is I have the ECU hooked up right now. There on, if you're using Infinity, the input tab, if you go down to the rolling anti-lag, it's this one here, it's not showing up, it's very hard to see. And if I can do both at the same time here, I'm going to try and lean over the car. If I click up on my cruise control stock, you'll see it go 100%. It's working. Boom, boom, boom. Again, over here. Boom, boom, boom. So now my rolling anti-lag switch is controlled by my cruise control stock. We're trying to figure out how we can get it so we can click it down. You have to pull up on it. Kind of prefer it down, but hey, if it works, it works. Eliminated that stupid little red button. I know it was dumb, but it just looks cleaner, looks more OEM, and I'm a lot happier with this. So just wanted to show you guys that again. You could have ground it on the body too. That works 100%. That's how I was testing here. Big shout out to Steven Rothensberg. He helped me with all this, spent time. Yeah, very, very big help. Appreciate it, brother. It's nice to have friends that are willing to help you when in need. All right, guys, so I wanted to show you the finished product. I didn't show you guys what the wheel installed. And that's what it looks like fully installed. Very, very happy with this. The leather's very nice. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about, you know, leather to like a very painted surface almost, like a clear coat, right? I actually like it. It's easier to keep clean and stuff. Hand doesn't feel as greasy. I don't know. I didn't think I'd like it, but I do. I'm still on edge. I really like my steering wheel a lot, but it doesn't have that race car feel. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but you know, Toyota actually sold a factory steering wheel that had carbon fiber on. Now, it didn't have the line, it wasn't forged, but it was a carbon fiber steering wheel. It would have been kind of like this. If I can find a picture, I'll put it up here. But that's mine, that Galaxy did, and they are also kind enough to do my wife's. Now, my wife's is a little bit more edgy, and again, her car's back apart here. But if you look at her wheel sitting here, you can see how much more bolstered it is, like here and here. I went for a little bit more aggressive. The flat bottom's a little bit more flat bottom. Again, it is up to you, and they do have even more severe version than this, I believe. I think they have like a full, like complete like race car style version. But this is as much as I wanted to go. Again, I got her car all set up too. I just set it up so we have her cruise control work now, and she is also going to have rolling anti-lag, and the buttons on the steering wheel are going to work. I've working with all this between, you know, Jose Kaiser Motorsports and Nick over there at Haltech helped me out, seeing how I'm going to trigger it all. It's pretty freaking neat. So almost done. Her car is getting so close, guys. Yeah, so just want to say thank you guys very much. Big shout out again, Galaxy. Guys, fit, finish, turnaround time. It's just amazing. I just love, love, love this steering wheel, so need to get it. If you guys also, here's a little clip of how the rolling anti-lag works.
All right, guys, so what I'm gonna do is hold it now and you'll see. So ready, hold on. So that's a little bit, you get a little bit higher. The higher in RPMs, the more aggressive it gets. Whoa, holy shit. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. She got away, she got a little bit away. Good night. That is, that's a little.
So yeah, just sort of pull up on the lever and it goes pop, pop, bang, bang, and the car takes off, and it works. So we still haven't figured out how to get the resistance to work so I can change it, but I'll have to work with that in the ECU. But yeah, thank you again, guys, for tuning in. Next week's video is going to be on how to actually wire it again. I'm going to go step by step how to remove the column, where to pin it in at. Yeah, so I'll show you guys that in the next video. Thanks, guys.